Welcome to FEMEASE, your ultimate health companion with personalized wellness plans, AI-powered insights, and expert advice. FEMEASE supports you at every stage of your health journey. Manage your menstrual health, balance your hormones, and embrace Ayurvedic care all in one app. Download FEMEASE today and take the first step towards a healthier you.
I'm your host, Piyusha Majumdar, and as this is a Women's Day special episode, we are in conversation with Jyoti Sharma, who's a passionate entrepreneur and co-founder of FEMEASE. FEMEASE is a femtech platform dedicated to revolutionizing women's health and wellness. She is a postgraduate from LSR, and her academic journey pursued her desire to create a positive social impact in women's health. After a successful first venture with Cara, a sustainable menstruation brand offering organic sanitary pad, Jyoti started her journey of FEMEASE to provide holistic care solutions to women across all life stages. Welcome to the show, Jyoti.
Thank you so much for
Uh,
inviting me over.
okay, so Jyoti, we would, our audience would like to know about your journey and the turning point that led you to launch FEMEASE.
Yeah, so when I got into LSR in 2012, I did political science honors from there. My graduation is in political science. I did my post graduation also in political science, and during my college years, I was working with prostitutes in GB Road, where we were distributing some medicines, contraceptives, and embarking like basic knowledge on menstruation and things like that. So there was the seed where I started working on sustainable menstruation. And with sustainable menstruation, I realized that even जो basic चीजें होती हैं about like when to change your pad, how to manage your menstrual hygiene, how to prevent unwanted pregnancies, it was not very commonly discussed about amongst the women there. So वहाँ पे हम लोग sessions वगैरह करते थे. So we realized that there's a market gap that we can like I can start something on that terms. So I started MyCara, which is organic cotton-based organic cotton-based sanitary pads, and we also launched menstrual cups. तो वो हमने start किया था. So there began the journey of like working on women's health and gender equality and things like that. And when I was like working on my Kara, I got diagnosed with PCOS. And to treat that PCOS, I went to the doctor. कि सबसे पहले तो यही चीज आती है कि I'll go to a doctor and I'll consult gynac. I was in Delhi that time. Uh, so when I went to the doctor, she told me कि ना आपको weight loss करना पड़ेगा. So I thought, okay, and she also prescribed me a medicine कि 21 days तक you have to take these medicines. And when I researched, क्योंकि हम लोगों को ऐसा होता है कि कोई भी prescribe भी कर देगा तो हमारा दिमाग जरूर बहुत चलेगा कि what are we taking. So I researched on that, and they were pure contraceptives. So PCOS is something which is not treatable. जब तक वो medicine मैं अगर लेती रहती तो मतलब 21 days के लिए लेती तो मे बी वो एक मोमेंट तक मैनेज हो पाता. बट ऑफकोर्स जो हार्मोनल इम्बैलेंसेस थे वो चेंज नहीं हो सकते थे. दैट वाज माय बॉडी टेलिंग मी दैट समथिंग इज रॉन्ग. So I was rightly cynical about taking those medicines, and I did not take it. So I was like, I'll manage my lifestyle and I will treat I'll understand my body. So I lost weight. I consulted nutritionists. I also consulted fitness experts. But what I realized while managing my PCOS was that there was no sync between those two. If somebody was telling, like a fitness expert was telling me a list of exercises that you have to do all this, ये करो ये करो ये करो, जबकि जो न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट है वो मुझे 1200 कैलोरीज या 1300 कैलोरीज की डाइट होती. सो देयर वाज नो सिंक बिटवीन दोज टू. एंड इवन इफ आई यूज्ड टू टेल बोथ ऑफ देम कि ये ऐसे उन्होंने ऐसे बताया ऐसे उन्होंने बताया, तो देयर वाज नो काइंड ऑफ सिंक. That gave me a lot of trouble. There was that misalignment. And that's where I realized that there is a huge market gap in this segment, and there are various issues which women face, जिसमें there has to be a platform where I could work on that platform. That's where the idea of FEMEASE came in, that we'll create a platform where things like these, like PCOS, endometriosis, perimenopause, pregnancy, and even like first period में कैसे manage करना है. So those things like that could be managed with a holistic support from a team who could work with each other and understand the person's body. Because when I was managing my PCOS, I realized that कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है market में player जो मेरी इस चीज में help कर सकता है. So that was a thing, and at FEMEASE हम लोगों ने स्टार्ट किया कि सबसे पहले अगर कोई हमें कंसल्ट करता है, इफ एनी पर्सन कॉन्टैक्ट्स अस कि हमें ये प्लान लेना है या वी हैव टू लाइक डू मैनेज दिस, सो व्हाट वी डू दैट वी डू अ प्रोफाइल क्रिएशन. प्रोफाइल क्रिएशन में हम इंसान को समझते हैं क्या उनका लाइफस्टाइल है, क्या क्या इज शी अ मदर येट, और व्हाट इज शी वर्किंग, what is the lifestyle which she is following. Then after that we create a call with fitness expert. तो फिटनेस एक्सपर्ट सबसे पहले उनको ये समझता है कि उनका फिटनेस का लेवल क्या है, क्या चीज है जो वो मैनेज करना चाह रहे हैं. इज इट प्रेगनेंसी, इज इट लाइक मेनोपॉज, और इज इट IVF, आर दे गोइंग फॉर IVF, is it fertility related. So they understand and then they decide ki what kind of exercises are they are suitable for. Because there are women in 60s who are going through like menopause bhi ho gaya, but still they are getting heart related issues and things like that. सो उनको स्क्वाट्स करने के लिए हम लोग बोलते हैं कि नहीं, नीज जब कभी पूरे लाइफ में नहीं किया तो अब स्क्वाट करने का कोई वो नहीं है ना. सो इट्स ऑलवेज लाइक पर्सन स्पेसिफिक. एंड देन आफ्टर दैट न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट डिसाइड्स कि उनकी कैलोरीज क्या होनी चाहिए, व्हाट आर देयर डाइट्स, डिपेंडिंग ऑन द कंडीशन विच दे वांट टू cater to. After that, because we also have a therapist on board to manage like this, because when I was suffering from PCOS, I was like my study wala years hote hain, bahut stress hota hai, what to do for your career. There are so many pressures also which you face when you're staying like out of town. So my PCOS was stress triggered. It was not just related to weight, but it was stress triggered. So I realized that there has to be a person whom you can speak openly. So we also incorporated a therapist as well as a doctor who helps, who does not like prescribe medicines, but helps the person in understanding how to manage lifestyle. So that's where the idea of FEMEASE came in, and that's how we incorporated everything at FEMEASE.
Okay, very interesting journey you have shared here. So, tell us, how did FEMEASE help in accelerating women's health? And can you tell us some of the innovative solutions that FEMEASE has come up to enhance women's health and well-being?
So when we talk about the industry, women's health is mostly overlooked. मतलब जो भी जो भी हमारे पास मेडिसिन सेक्टर था, it has always been male dominated. Like in the start, in the morning, I was reading a news that there are more studies on baldness, men's baldness, than on endometriosis. So that's where the gap is, and it is highly overlooked. The segment women's sector is highly overlooked. At FEMEASE, how we are accelerating the industry is that uh, we have basically created a community, FEMEASE Fam, on our app, जिसमें there is an open community where even अगर छोटा सा भी डाउट आता है, लगता है कि बहुत ही बेवकूफ सा डाउट है, मैं किससे पूछूंगी, लोग मुझ पे हंसेंगे, it might be a silly doubt related to health. So women ask there, and we have experts on board who answer those questions for free. So that's the kind of community we are building at FEMEASE. And we have seen that women may chronic diseases are more than men. And apart from that, there are different phases also in a women's life. जैसे फर्स्ट पीरियड आया, प्यूबर्टी आई, फिर उसके बाद टीनेज आई, उसके बाद एक फर्टिलिटी का फेज चल रहा है, उसके बाद प्रेगनेंसी आई, उसके बाद मे बी एक पोस्ट फर्टिलिटी आया, पोस्टपार्टम केयर आया, पोस्टपार्टम डिप्रेशन इज सो कॉमन. सो वी केटर टू ऑल दोज थिंग्स. देन मेनोपॉज आया. सो देयर आर डिफरेंट फेजेस जो जिसमें एक हैंड होल्डिंग अप्रोच की बहुत रिक्वायरमेंट है. एंड टुडे बिकॉज वुमेन आर लाइक nuclear families इतनी कॉमन है, so we do not have our parents or maybe in-laws to take care of like the daughter in a way that they used to do in joint families ancient times में, या फिर traditional times में. तो traditional families का concept बहुत कम हो गया है, especially in tier 1 tier 2 cities, because everyone is working, parents are staying in a different town. So that way, I guess that FEMEASE can play a huge role, and it is actually impacting a lot of women and helping them out. And
So,
at the end, yeah,
is
if women's health is taken care of, I guess nation's healthcare system can flourish.
so basically, FEMEASE is also trying to build a social capital
Absolutely.
of in a woman's life. Is there any success story, Jyoti, that you can share? Where FEMEASE intervention had played a major impact on a woman's life.
Yeah. So there have been multiple success stories, and we have served more than 500 women in the last 3 months. We launched in November 24, and we have, like, every one of the women who comes to us with their issues, we understand them, and we understand that these lifestyle issues have to be managed by changing lifestyle, and that's where families comes in. And in our most of our success stories, we have seen that starting में हम लोग PCOS पे ज़्यादा ही cater कर रहे थे, because we had to choose one segment where we could excel in. So we have reduced PCOS symptoms in most of our women by 80 to 85%. So that's the kind of data we have with our customers. And even there was a woman, I remember, we helped her conceive traditionally, naturally, who was trying through, to conceive since 2 years. And she was very troubled कि IVF मुझे नहीं करना है कि नहीं करना है, nutrition manage कैसे करना है, मतलब she was very very confused, but we like helped her in that. So I guess that is one of our major success stories, and I keep sharing that everything is doable, and if you take care of yourself, then everything is manageable.
So, are you taking care of the women in urban area or some rural area? Women also comes and take help of these, FEMEASE.
Femi's fancy because it is so scalable. Femi's is so scalable that it is an app at the end of the day. So there are various women from rural areas also who download the app and take the free advice. Although to take the plan, I understand that there is a constraint there, and we are not able to cater to rural women fully there. But still, whatever free we can provide, they are taking care of. They are taking. They are like availing those services by Femi's. And apart from that, we also hold sessions in like urban slums. Yeah, फिर in some of the villages, because we've just started, so I'm just like figuring out how to manage that. But yeah, we take sessions on menstrual health, on like how to manage your menopause, because mostly जो rural women होती है उन्हें लगता है कि नहीं, अगर जैसे there was a session which I took in on I guess 10th March in urban slum in Durgapura, Jaipur. So वहाँ पे women को लग रहा था कि नहीं, अगर हम अचार छू रहे हैं तो वो सही ही कर रहे हैं. They were very proud of doing that. So they are the kind of they are the this is the kind of mindset we actually at the end are catering to. तो वो एक चीज हो जाती है. But हाँ, we are doing whatever we can, and there are women from pan India, even northeast. I get inquiries from even Andaman and Nicobar, and that is, जब भी ऐसा कोई inquiry आता है तो I feel on the top of the world, and I feel like I'm doing something for the betterment of the women. So yeah, it is pan India. Some of the rural women are reaching out, and yeah, so yeah, it's just started, and I have a long journey to go.
Glad to hear that women from remotest part of the country is also reaching out to you, and that is what we want. That if women from every nook and corner should know about their health status, and what could be done to improve their reproductive and sexual health. So, tell me, Jyoti, what is your vision for the future of women's health, and what role do you envision that families will be playing in the future?
So I envision a future where women are healthier, prosperous, and aspiring. And because chronic conditions are increasing 30% year on year, so there's an increase there. And at FEMEASE, we wish to arrest as well as further reduce this pandemic of chronic diseases. And I guess FEMEASE, at the end in the journey, I envision FEMEASE to be disrupting the market, and uh, I'm 100% sure that we can be a game changer in women's health in India. So that's the vision I have for maybe 5 years, 10 years down the line. To have every Indian woman download that app and download, and even if not taking any plan, just be cautious about your cycle, your hormones, and how to prioritize themselves, self care, therapies, and I guess that's what my vision at the end is for families.
Great. So, Jyoti, as when you are in your journey, So, of the entrepreneurship, we find many challenges. So, we would like to know about you. What are the challenges that have been, faced by you during this journey?
See, there are multiple challenges on an everyday life. Also, I encounter multiple challenges, but I'll briefly tell you what basic initial challenges for me were. Like, even if we are leading a team, or we have multiple stakeholders, we have multiple investors, women basically have that. I don't know, we have taken that responsibility ourselves, or the society has given it on us, that we have to prove ourselves in every surrounding. And it is inbuilt in us that, we work harder to make ourselves valuable in that system, to make ourselves apt in that surrounding. So there's that gender bias in health segment as well. And in the startup ecosystem also, there is that biasness that even if you're sitting in the room of startup founders, you'll be maybe two, three women, and there will be hundreds of men who are startup founders. Especially when we talk about the health segment, even in the health segment, like if we see movies, या फिर कहीं पे भी हम देखते हैं तो women are mostly portrayed as nurses or maybe the supporting staff in the health segment. But and आजकल जरूर फिर भी ऐसा हो रहा है कि चलो there are some segments जहाँ पे women doctors हैं, भी आज तो बहुत development है, but traditionally we have seen women as that supporting character in a male doctor's, like, surgical room. So that's the kind of biasness we have against women in the segment. And like when we reach out to the hospitals, especially management jo side hota hai, because we keep collaborating with hospitals, so we reach out to marketing managers and people like that. And there has not been any single, matlab, I've reached out to more than maybe 20 hospitals till now, and there has not been a single hospital जहाँ पे मुझे women marketing manager मिली है. There are always men, and it takes a, like, trouble to make them understand that, why FEMEASE is important, why femtech is the, like, booming, and it's very very, it's like the future. So it becomes a hassle that way. But of course we learn to manage with that. Even in the, like, networking events, अगर जैसे कोई बोर्ड रूम है, लाइक आई मेंशन, बहुत ही कम हो सकता है कि आप अकेली वुमेन हो बहुत सारे मेन में. सो देन देयर कम्स अ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दैट यू हैव टू प्रूव योर वर्थ अगेन, दैट यू आर एप्ट, you belong to the room. That's the kind of system. And when I talk about FEMEASE, it's a tech based platform. We are tech enabled because we are based on a mobile application. So tech empowered business by a non techie founder. That's also a big challenge for me, because at the end of the day, women in tech देखा ही नहीं जाता. मतलब I have seen many people कि tech, अच्छा, you understand tech, जबकि मैंने, I am a non techie, but I have learned कि DevOps क्या होता है, ये क्या होता है. I keep learning, I keep reading things like that to understand how Feminist is created and how I can improvise it further. But it takes a, like, एक taboo है that women in tech not visual. No, I don't know how people cannot visualize this, but yeah, it's a hassle. But yeah, it's a long way, and we are working on that. As women community, we are working on that, especially startup founders, women startup founders. But at the end, I would also like to say that there are various schemes also for women. I mean, the government is doing a lot to support startup founders. Even like our ministers keep talking about women led businesses, women led startups. And there are various schemes in which women are supported also as startup founders. Uh, like there's this scheme, there's this pre-seed funding by iStart government of by the government of Rajasthan. So they give 240,000 to the male founders. But if you have a women co-founder, or maybe you are a women founder having even, like, 50% partnership, you get 3 lakh. So that's the kind of bonuses you get if you're a women and in the startup ecosystem. So I think the government is trying its best. Even the academic institutions are trying its best to boost women in entrepreneurship. Like I keep following Smriti Irani ma'am, so she keeps talking about women-led startups and how not just in health but also in textiles and handlooms and different segments, education. So yeah, women, as women we have that responsibility. But then of course, if we are capable enough, if we can work on ourselves, it's always a good battle to fight.
Uh, So I'm happy to hear that women are getting something more than what boys are getting or men's are getting. So what do you think? What progress have you seen in the gender equality in your industry? And do you think we still need to improve?
See, when we talk about the data, तो डेटा इज इम्प्रूविंग, देर इज जेंडर इक्वालिटी बहुत, मतलब हम लोग पहले तो कहाँ कुछ ऐसी चीजें करते थे, फीटिसाइड होता था, सती प्रथा होती थी, उन जगहों एजुकेशन नहीं होती थी वुमेन के लिए, तो वहां से तो हम बहुत आगे चल आए हैं. सो देर इज ऑलवेज अ इम्प्रूवमेंट की हम लोगों ने बहुत अच्छा कुछ अचीव किया है पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस. इवन 75-76 ईयर्स में इतना अचीव करना इज वेरी 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 गुड. But we are still far away from the equality we deserve. That's what I believe. And especially in the health segment. जैसे we keep talking about these schemes जिसमें हम लोग menstrual pads distribution होता है या फिर कुछ भी इस टाइप का relation जो related to health of women. तो but उसमें भी as a country we are more focusing on the access rather than the quality of the pads we are distributing. So that's the one kind of segment which I feel that there has to be an equality on the quality terms as well. And apart from that, even some of the women related problems, like I said, endometriosis, uh, vaginismus, या फिर इवन asexuality, they are not so commonly spoken about जितना हम लोग मेल्स, जैसे हम लोग दीवारों पे भी एड्स देखते हैं तो वो मेल रिलेटेड एड्स होते हैं. इट्स वेरी रिलेटेबल, वी कीप सीइंग दैट. बट इज देयर एन ओपन डिस्कशन अबाउट वुमेन्स हेल्थ? सो वी आर फार फ्रॉम इक्वालिटी in that way, and we have a long way to go. And इवन रिसर्च जब होती है विमेन रिलेटेड तो वो बहुत कम होती है, मेल रिलेटेड ज्यादा होती है. जैसे मैंने बॉल्डनेस का बोला था, तो दैट वाज द न्यूज आर्टिकल व्हिच आई रेड टुडे इन शॉर्ट्स. तो लाइक ये तो नहीं होना चाहिए, बिकॉज वी आल्सो डिजर्व समथिंग, कि इक्वालिटी इस चीज में भी होनी चाहिए. इवन पोस्ट रिसर्च, रिसर्च तो जो है सो है, पोस्ट रिसर्च ऑल्सो वी सी दैट there is a distinguish that thing, there is a difference. So that is the difference I think we need to cater to, and it is a long way to go.
Okay, I want to tell you here that no, women's for women's health and other issues, research are happening, and I'm also doing along with one of my, one of my partner from University of Rajasthan. So we are doing a research which is funded by ICSSR. So we are doing one research on reproductive and sexual health of a married women, and we are comparing what is the difference between their health status in rural and urban area. What do they know about it? Whether they are utilizing the services or not. So we are also, we have started our step
That's an
in
amazing,
doing
that's an
so.
amazing concept.
Okay, now we have come to the end of this, conversation, and we would like to know what advice would you offer to budding entrepreneurs who wish to contribute towards women's health?
Advice. Okay. So yeah, when I was a starting entrepreneur, I am a first generation entrepreneur. So we keep looking for external validation that ये सही हो रहा है ना, या फिर keep doubting your journey. But at the end, the world is your oyster. Just experiment and learn and unlearn and then again learn. So that's the journey as an entrepreneur. That it will be a roller coaster ride. It will, one day you will feel that कैसे होगा क्या होगा. The other day you will get leads. The other day you will get sales also. So don't get dependent on only one thing. As women, even if we are in any business or we are doing any job, it is our matlab, as women, it is our job to break that glass ceiling, because there is one, remember. So that glass ceiling को break करने के लिए always keep working harder and work so harder that no one can pull you down, and that energy and strength and confidence comes from within. So I guess work on your confidence since day one. Even if you're not going to be an entrepreneur, you have no plans. Like I had no plans to be an entrepreneur when I was in college, but you never know where your journey will take you, where your destiny lies. So keep working on confidence, even if you're working in a job, even if you're like studying, you should work on your confidence, because confidence is the key. Confidence is the key to success. Confidence is the key where people will listen to you. So that's where I guess that would be my only advice: that work on yourself, keep working hard, and build confidence, because it really really makes a difference.
Thank you so much, Jyoti, for these insights on how, we can improve gender equality, what should a, women entrepreneur should do. I think it will be really beneficial for our audience and the budding entrepreneurs to know your thoughts on it. Thank you so much.